Hey friends, Justin here. Join me for a review of the 1997 film The Devil's Advocate. I've got to thank my good friend Samantha here on YouTube for the wonderful recommendation. I had a lot of fun watching this movie. It took me back to the 90s. It was nice to see Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves, kind of at the height of their presence. And I really loved really like Keanu Reeves' 90s contempo casual style. He had the most beautiful blazers and suit jackets, and I think that fashion is coming back around full circle. But he had some beautiful off the runway, pieces that I just loved, and juxtaposed to his model looks, it was just wonderful to behold. But he plays an undefeated trial lawyer, criminal lawyer in Tallahassee, Florida. He is voracious, and the idea of losing a case, being a loser, is just beneath him. So he does anything within his power to win the cases. It doesn't matter how sleazy, it doesn't matter how undeserving his client is. He's going to win for them because his pride, his reputation supersedes all else. The film it's a Bible story. It's a story about greed. It's, an otherworldly story. It's such a multifaceted movie. And it's a film about perspective. You come into the film thinking that the people around Keanu Reeves have small town values and small perspectives. The folks around him at church, you think they're bumpkins. And they don't know, what there is to know about law and the world and negotiating. And you go along on this ride with Keanu for a while. I mean, he gets off an obvious pedophile. And instead of standing up and saying, I can't in good conscience work with this guy, he basically assaults on the witness stand this young teenage girl in order to destroy her story and credibility, and doesn't care about this girl's future or nothing. He just wants to win, 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 win. That appetite gets the attention of big city law firms, and he's offered an offer he can't refuse. It's so fitting that it was Al Pacino. He's offered to fly out to New York City to meet with this new law firm and potentially join their ranks. So he and Charlize Theron, just looks wonderful in this film, and she's an amazing, amazing actress. But it was so nice to see her too, back in the 90s. They fly them out to New York, and they spare no expense with, showing them all of high society. They give them this fabulous apartment in a building that's owned by the law firm, which was much more than they could afford on their own. Everything was excess, everything was fabulous, and they can't say no. Who's going to walk away from all that square footage in New York City, in Manhattan? And they're ingratiated into this group of other lawyers and their circle, and it's all a bit too claustrophobic for me. It was all a little bit too close. I had a boss back in the day who thought about buying an apartment building for us at the job, and I just never thought that was a good idea. You want to leave work at some point. And so they were all living in the apartment building. The folks that showed them around, that greeted them and showed them around their apartment, they lived right across the hall. And the black lady that lived across the hall, she was telling Charlize Theron, no, don't use that paint color, don't do this, and kind of instructing them how to live. And Charlize, who's not as cutthroat and as ruthless as Keanu Reeves, she starts to catch on, early on, that something isn't right here. Something with these folks is not above board. But Keanu is pushing everything aside. His mother, his wife, his morals. He's it's all a test to see just how depraved a man he can be, as I'm realizing as I'm talking now. And he fails every test of morality, throughout the film, except for one, But it's truly a moralistic tale about greed and getting too far and not remembering who and what you are. He had opportunities at so many turns in this movie to go back to Tallahassee, to get his life back, to encourage his wife to get healthy. And he chose the wrong path each and every time. So it was truly thrilling. And, as I was watching it, and as Keanu was introduced to Al Pacino and taken into his office, the first thing I thought when I saw his office is, this reminds me of some kind of hellscape. It was totally 90s with the overwrought fashion and art pieces and Art Deco statements. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember that time when everything was just so Art Deco and so oversized and all of those things? But as I saw his office, Al Pacino, I just kept thinking, this reminds me of some hellscape. It's just so larger than life and so dark and so cryptic looking. And, to find out who Al Pacino really, really is, the father of lies, it was so fitting. I got, hints along the way that he was at least some kind of demonic presence. When Mom came in town and met Al Pacino and was just completely turned off by his presence, I thought to myself, she can feel the presence of this demonic spirit. But then to find out that Al Pacino was Keanu Reeves' father, that she had been seduced by him years and years ago and had been offered a similar, offer that she couldn't refuse. I mean, that was just truly, truly exciting to me, and an interesting twist that I did not see coming. But, I felt so sorry for Charlize Theron throughout the film. And I was just relieved at the very end, when he made that final good choice to say no and woke up back in Tallahassee and was able to make the right choices and was able to change his path. I was so relieved at the end. Thank you so much, Samantha, for recommending this film. I loved it for the fashion. I loved it for the New York City apartments, the elbow rubbing, all of those fabulous things. But then to see it from a moralistic standpoint, that some things are too much, is what is excess in 90s New York, And I went into it thinking, these folks from Tallahassee, these folks from Florida, of course they're going to think it's all demonic in New York City. Of course they're going to think everything is too much in their small-mindedness. But then to realize the whole time that they were absolutely right was really a lesson. And it was really a thrilling turn of events in the film. Samantha, what did you think? And anyone who has watched The Devil's Advocate, what were your impressions of this film? I really loved it, and it's one I'll definitely watch again. If you enjoyed this video, please offer the video a like, if you will, a comment, and please consider subscribing to my channel, Justin Talks Film, for more movie, TV, and chatty related content. And until next time, guys, have a wonderful night. Cheers.